courage to be real, where real stories break the silence.
Because that's on my heart, man. You know, I've done everything, I've said everything, and then I've done all that. It's amazing. Why the hell would I stay here and not give my phone number out? You know, I don't understand people that don't do that. These high-flying guys on stage, and why? Put your money where your mouth is. Are you saving lives, or are you just trying to get more money off these guys? Because if it's the latter,
Man,
how dare you, first of all?
that's phenomenal. And man, I wish I would have heard a podcast like this 2 years ago, because I
know.
February of 2 years ago, where I wish I had somebody to talk to when I held a gun up to my head, and not having that sense of loneliness we were talking about earlier, and how suffocating that is, how terrible that feeling is to go through alone. So thank you. Thank you for that. And all of our listeners, I'm sure, appreciate that.
Thank you very much. And with 450,000 suicides a year, these numbers are adding up incredibly fast. 1 in every 5 people are abused, and we're talking about 440,000 successful suicides. And I hate to use the word successful, and I know that number is growing exponentially. Please reach out to Dr. Robb Kelly. Please reach out to Jason. Please reach out to myself. We are all here for you. We tell you all the time. We absolutely love each and every one of you. Rob, this has been, I have hair standing up on my arms, chills running down my back. I have no hair here anymore. But this has been one of the most powerful episodes. For me, a year ago, November, was my moment standing on the roof. And my lighthouse here, and if you watch any of our episodes, I'm very open about, I would have been pavement, or a decoration on the pavement, I should say. And that was, looking back at it, that was my most shameful moment. Not dealing with what I had to deal with as a kid, not telling my wife what I had to deal with as a kid. She loves me. She understands. She knows that wasn't my fault, but I carried that shame so deeply. And I know there's other people out there, and when I say shame, that resonates so deeply with you. But look in the mirror, first of all, tell yourself that you love yourself, because that's very important. And then reach out to us. Reach out to Doc. I mean, you're not going to get this opportunity to talk to somebody like Dr. Robb Kelly, except for watching this podcast now.
So that's
Jason
a great
and myself,
message.
we're always here for you. Yeah,
There's a great message I want to finish on if I can. So the guy, true story, left his apartment, walked to the Golden Gate Bridge and threw himself off and committed suicide. When the police pulled him out of the water, they found his ID, and they went back to his apartment to find next of kin, obviously. What they found at the apartment was a letter on the kitchen table, and it read, "I'm going to walk to the Golden Gate Bridge," which was an hour's walk, by the way. "I'm going to throw myself off and commit suicide. Unless, on the way there, somebody says hello, somebody nods at me, somebody smiles at me, I'll stop right there and turn back. Question: how many people have you walked past today as heading to the Golden Gate Bridge?"
It's time for us to be those people to nod and wave and say hello, and just acknowledge another's existence. You know, before we do wrap up, there's a couple of questions that I'm hoping to open up a little bit of a deeper dialogue. What, in your opinion, Dr. Robb, is the hardest truth for people that have been able to identify with their trauma, eventually have to face about themselves?
I think it's getting real. I think it's the stuff you take into the grave with you is what we're talking about. I think the reality that your sexual abuse and your trauma and your alcoholism doesn't define you today. Your weight doesn't define you. Your job doesn't define you as a person. Find your niche in life. Everybody has it. I can't do this and other people can. Why are you asking a cow to climb a tree? Stop it. Go to the cheetah and watch him climb a tree. You're fishing in the wrong pond. Once you start to move on, and we see this a lot, is people fishing the same old pond and they don't get anywhere. Your pond is over there. Your guys are over there. Go fish in that pond. And once you realize that the past doesn't define you, it's okay to move on. It's okay to give yourself permission to be happy and free, because you've done the work. The hard bit is over, man. This is all cream and cakes, and, it's the only way to live. And stick in today. That's all. We all have now. I have a wife who's beautiful and we love each other. And when I met her 10 years ago, she talked about her brother who was a struggling alcoholic, and they were at a barbecue at mum and dad's house, and he is married and he has children, though it's rocky. And halfway through the barbecue, he says, Janet, I'll see you tomorrow. We're going shopping. We're going to do this. It's going to be amazing. But right now, too much alcohol for me. Said bye to the wife and kids. I'll see you in a couple of hours. He went home. This is what the video showed. He drove up in his driveway. He opened the garage. Now in the inside camera. He walked up. He took his gun out and he shot himself in the head.
Wow.
That's suicide. It doesn't look like that. Depression doesn't look like, you know what depression looks like, guys? Hey, how you doing? Oh man, it's going to be, that's depression, or can be.
Robin
Be
Williams.
the guy on the Golden Gate Bridge, man.
Putting on that fake smile like that. I love what you say about how you've already done the hard work.
Yeah.
Like, people don't really realize that, how strong they are. Like, the stuff that should have destroyed you didn't.
Yeah.
You're
And we
still
get to do
here,
this.
right?
And we get to do this. Oh, I've got to take the kids to school tomorrow. You get to take the kids. Why are you not excited about that? Because see the girl around the corner that lost her kids in a car accident, and you're moaning about taking. You get to do this, guys. Get excited about life. The hard work's done. This is it, man. These are the salad days, baby. Go out there and live every day as if your last day. Don't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Do it. Believe in yourself. Start now. Don't wait. Start now. You know, like if I'm sat on the couch tonight and I don't eat these things, but let's say I'm sat there with a big bag of chips and a big can of Coke, and I'm watching TV and I see Arnold Schwarzenegger come on in one of his movies, and I turn to the wife and I go, "Hey, listen, thinking of going to the gym tomorrow." I ain't going to the gym tomorrow. She knows it. The dogs know it. Even the cat's walking past, going, "Man, I don't think so, dude." But within the first 0.3 seconds of that happening, that was our time frame research. I go into the bedroom, I get the sneakers, I get the shorts, and I put it near the front door. There's a good chance of me going to the gym tomorrow. So don't wait. The first 7.3 seconds after you say you're going to do something is make or break. You can't do it then, but you can start moving forward to that. 7.3 seconds, you could change the world.
Wow, powerful. 7 seconds. One more question that I have, and maybe Drew, you've got a few more, but when, in your opinion, then, Dr. Robb, and not an opinion, you've got plenty of stats and research to back this up, but when does real healing actually begin for somebody when they finally decide to stop running from their pain?
You asked the question that just kicked him off stage.
Real healing starts now. Real heal starts when you sit down in front of somebody and ask for help. That's where the healing starts. You'd have to wait. I tell people all the time, when we see a difference with my daughter, session 1, come in, you'll spend 45 minutes. If you haven't seen a huge difference in your daughter when you come in, go somewhere else. She's not bonding with it. Now, don't wait for the healing. It's happening now. The healing is happening with listening to this podcast, with asking somebody for help. Stop telling yourself, well, when the healing comes, it's now, man. Remember, we heal from any disease or any depression. We heal from the inside out. Have you given yourself permission to heal today?
Mm-hmm.
Have you practiced smiling today? It's really hard. Give yourself permission and you're healing now, man. You don't have to be sat in front of a therapist to get some wisdom advice. No, you're healing now. Once your mind starts to believe that, it'll pulse it out into the brain. The pathways will pick it up and it becomes behavior. It's 7.3 seconds of your life where you can change the world. The healing is now.
That reminds me of a story you were sharing in one of the podcasts I was listening to earlier about a young gentleman that his family brought him in, and they really wanted you to work with him. And you knew he wasn't ready, and he knew he wasn't ready. And so you said, you know what, let's start tomorrow. I can't remember. He was addicted to some sort of pills. But you said, you know what, let's start tomorrow. You take these pills, go ahead and just have them tonight and then come back tomorrow. And then the kid's like, oh, sweet. You know, like, yeah, this is awesome. And then you went to his parents and said, no, I'm not going to work with him. Because you knew he wasn't ready. He didn't want it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to do that in business. You know, it's hard. And I know 90% of people wouldn't do that. They take the big check. Mm-hmm. Now, this isn't a job. It's a passion. it's a life or death thing for me. You know, I have the power to heal people, and I take that very seriously. So, you know, we turned a huge pop star down in Dallas, Texas. And as I got up, she came in drunk, 2 hours late. And I says, I can't work with you. And I walked to the door, and the bodyguard and her father stood up. And the father said to me, Dr. Robb, I'll give you $1 million check right now if you work with her, please. And I said, I can't do it. I had $300 in the bank. I had no money in the bank, and I still turned that down. Just like you can't call up and go, hey, can we want to see Dr. Robb? When can I book it? You can't do that. We don't do shit like that. And we can call 1,000 places right now, and the first thing they're going to ask us is, where can I get the insurance details? Doesn't work like that here. That's why the rate is high. And the other reason it's high is if the guy comes here suffering, the wife's got to join for 2 days a week, and anybody over the age of 18 that lives in the house got to join the program as well. And that's how we heal. Your wifey comes in, well, it's nothing to do with me. He's drinking every night, blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah. Why do you allow your husband to come in and beat you in front of the children? You have PTSD, my dear, and if you have to work on your PTSD, you're not turning up and, well, he did. Don't want to hear that. This is about you. Who's looking after you and who's healing you, because if you carry on like this, we're going to find you dead one day. So let's start the healing. So there's lots of rules to follow here. We don't just have people on for the sake of it. I've never worked like that. And there's been time when I first came here, the first 5 years, I bought a little apartment and everything's going well, and all of a sudden work just dried up and they foreclosed on my house. And I asked people around, you know, can anybody help me pay my mortgage this month? Not one person out of the thousands of people I've worked with said yes. And my house got taken away from me, and I lived in the 24-hour club in Dallas, Texas, which is a homeless shelter for homeless people. I slept on the floor 11 years ago with all these people with cockroaches crawling over us, but I stood strong. I'm not doing this for the money, and God will sort me out when the time is right, and God has He sorted me out.
That's wonderful. You're definitely a man of integrity, and you can tell that this is your passion, working in the business of healing, and it's more than just a business. I'm curious, I don't know, just randomly out of the blue here, who are you as a person? What do you like to do for fun?
So I'm a musician still. I've got a music room at home. I have 2 beautiful English bulldogs. We have a great property that we run around. We like watching mindless TV from 6 till 8 o'clock at night time. We go yoga. We go massaging. We're off to Alaska in a couple of weeks. We're going to go over there and enjoy that stuff. So literally just chalk and cheese, would you believe? When I'm here, I'm powerful and strong. When I go home, I'm quiet and loving, and I just live in the moment. So yeah, I'm in bed by 9 o'clock and I get up at 5 a.m. just like everybody else. You know, I just live. I get to the gym now and again to lift some weights. And yeah, I just trying to make people smile and happy and healing.
What do you value most about your relationship with your wife?
That she understands from the day one I met her. I had 3 people lined up because I'm a businessman. So the first girl, second girl, third girl at Starbucks. When I met her, she was the second to think. I told her I was going to marry her straight away. It's the understanding of our journey together. She's a country girl, so I've kind of spoiled her a little bit with the gangster Manchester guy from England, but she's blended well, and we have an amazing relationship. But again, after we got married 10 years ago, the second or third day after we got married, something happened and we argued, and she said, blah, blah, and I said, no. And all of a sudden I said, listen, I'm not doing this. This is my 3rd marriage, Janet. I'm not doing this. I'm not arguing, coming on to this. And she said, that's the way marriage is. And I said, says who? And that's where the said who comes from. So we changed our marriage right there and then to how we like it, what we want to do. I'm surprised she hasn't come in there and thrown something at me already. She does when it's live. She'll throw a sock at me or something because we have an amazing relationship. So, yeah.
She's not Polish because, yeah, my wife would just jump in and put her head right here and tell her.
Yes. There you go. Yes.
That's wonderful. I want to ask a question for all the fathers out there that have quote unquote fucked up their families. You're familiar with that line of work, if you will, and you have reestablished a relationship with Charlie. What do you value most about that relationship? And what are you doing currently with the relationship with Abigail?
Abigail.
Did you say? With that relationship, how does somebody start repairing those?
Well, first of all, when I first met her, I bought the car, I bought her a house and all this terrible stuff you don't do, guys. And then again, realized when she told me it's not about the money, it's just about having a relationship with you again. I'm really proud, and it makes a difference when I can just call her and vice versa. Mm-hmm. We go over there once a year. She's going to come this year for the first time over here. But I just love the idea of we've just taken another patient on today, about 2 hours for this podcast. And it's a guy, a man and his wife and the daughter. And I get to work with the guy and she gets to work with the daughter. That's just beautiful. And of course, my granddaughter pops on every day to say hi to me. So
nice.
It's a relationship I've yearned for 30 years. And, but the crazy thing is I always knew it would happen in some kind of way because I'm doing too much work around God. I'm healing God's kids. I'm taking losses. I'm giving my time, and we give half our money away. It's that stuff that I've been given and working and sticking true and knowing quite well that I've been chosen and everything will be okay. And when it turned around, man, it was amazing. So, and Abigail, she's a little standoffish right now. She was only 1 year old. So the last thing I heard from her 8 or 10 years ago, I don't know what it was, is I don't have a father. So she contacted me she sent me an email. Oh, wow. So she sent me an email and she called me Rob.
Mm-hmm. Ouch.
Yeah, that was, and a few months on, talking every week. And then she texted me once a few months ago and said, "Hey, Dad."
Oh, it's beautiful.
And that was it, man. It's just like, I know I'm doing the right things. And I want this for everybody because I'm guaranteeing you guys and fathers that are going through this. So when we split up, especially when I came to America, every birthday and Christmas, I would send little gifts over to my mom to give to the kids because my wife would not let me send presents. I didn't know that my mom was scared to give her the presents because she stopped her seeing the grandchildren. So I sent every Christmas, every birthday, I sent them cards and little teddy bears and stuff. And they never knew that, of course, because my mum used to have to hide it. And when my parents passed away, my sister and my daughter, it's about 2-3 years ago, they was getting their house ready for sale and they was taking everything out of it. And my daughter, Charlie, it's beautiful the way she described it to me. There was a chest in the corner, huge chest, like 5 foot high or something, with big doors and like an armoire over here. And she opened it. And there was every card and present that I sent.
Mm-hmm.
So dads, send presents, be there for your children, fight for your children. We had a guy here about 3 months ago, took his kids off him. His wife doesn't let him to do. They're going to court. He had nothing. He's living in a shelter. We paid for an apartment for a year for him. We bought him a little car. We got him a suit for court. We paid all his legal fees. And he gets to see his kids 2 days a week now. So I have an amazing life. And when I get onto a podcast like this and you guys ask me questions I've never been asked before, that's special. When you can identify with what I'm saying and validate what I'm saying and vice versa, it's something special. And I think I'm on Rogan, I don't know when it is, July or something. It won't mean shit. Podcast that means something. This podcast here, I'll never forget this interview. Never. Now, will I watch it? I don't watch any of my stuff. TV. I've never read my book. And by the way, guys, if you're in America, Daddy, please stop drinking. That's me and my daughter. Do not buy it off Amazon. 10 free books to give away. 20 if more people come. But mention the show to the guys or me, and I'll sign it and send it to you free of charge.
Wow,
Nice.
That's a phenomenal. No, we really appreciate you being here. This has been
We absolutely love you being here. And by the way, I want to offer you something. I know this is going to sound really bizarre, and we offer it to everyone that watches our podcast. But you mentioned sometimes you're lonely, and you know what? I get lonely. And I'm going to give Courtney my number. If you ever just want to talk to someone, text someone, if you want to. I love doing like WhatsApp or Signal or whatever. Yeah. I'm not a very good phone talker myself. But if you ever just want someone to throw something at or throw a picture at, I'm here for you. I know Jason's here for you. There's something really special about you, Dr. Robb.
Before our show.
Oh,
Did
I
you?
don't.
Okay.
I don't do my social medias. I have a company that does that, but I do. I do my own Facebook. So there's a company Facebook, but Dr. Robb Kelly is my personal one. That's the only social media. But yeah, I'll make you've got my phone number there, and let's stay in touch, man. But definitely. It's a
Definitely
special meeting. This is a special podcast, and I don't know, man. You meet people in your life now and again that you know quite well that if you call me up and said, "Hey, Rob, I can't tell you what it is and I can't tell you what we're doing, but can you be ready in 10 minutes time?" The answer is yes.
Cool. Well, I need 10 minutes and 12 hours since I'm in Poland right now, but we are moving back to the States in a couple years. So I will definitely, we'll have to grab lunch. I know that there's this really good English restaurant somewhere there in Texas.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Love it.
No, this has been, I believe, a divinely orchestrated event. Definitely our favorite recording ever.
My favorite, for sure, absolutely.
When Courtney reached out to us, we had 200 or 300 subscribers, maybe we were 2 weeks old. It's like,
yeah.
Where the hell did she come from? So,
and the funny thing is, we still don't know what we're doing, but we're having fun doing it. Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
I reached out to Jason. I'm like, there's this Dr. Robb Kelly, and I'm looking at his website. Man, this guy's got a lot of stuff. He's really knowledgeable. And he goes, yeah, I said, well, some Courtney, blah, 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 I think it's his assistant, reached out to us and asked if he could be on our show. And the first thing through our mind was, shouldn't we be reaching out to ask to be on his show?
Yeah, I love what she does, man. I love what she does. She does it very good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's changing the world thing. She's seen you somewhere doing a podcast and thought, oh my God, yeah, this is it. Because I give my book away. I don't advertise my website. I don't want all that, man. If we can save a life, and we have saved some lives, man. And again, knowing your worth and knowing our identity, we can say that without any ego. That's why we do this stuff, That's why I do it anyway. I mean, I'm old and I've done my time kind of thing, and I don't feel 65, don't get me wrong, but at my age, to get on a podcast like this is amazing, man. It's amazing, absolutely. I'll go home singing tonight, and it's been amazing. You have had a huge effect on my life. I want to tell you that before you leave.
Oh,
the questions that you asked is, I was speechless when you asked them, which is back to authenticity, which we've done our own testing on. But this podcast from you guys to me personally has changed my life. So don't ever go away thinking, well, it was just a podcast and he was good. You've changed my life, guys, with them questions you asked. I'm going to go away and think about them questions, because they were amazing, deep questions, man, that I need to ask myself again, because I was a bit stumped with the answer.
Courage to be real, where real stories break the silence.